We are Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. I had to think about that. And this is episode 17. And who might you be?
I'm Bente, also known as ArcticCrafts, and I'm in Norway, so this is even more distant than usual.
Yeah, it applies, right?
Yeah.
Very distant stitches.
Very distant stitches.
So Liz is taking a break from podcasting. And so I'm kind of ready to podcast again because, life. And I thought, let's just do this with other people, with Liz's blessing. So she's okay with it. And I got to stop saying that. So where I do it again right away, right? Where you can find Distant Stitches, we are on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook. I also have an Instagram account as CraftyKnitter7. And where can we find you, Bente?
You can find me on Instagram as ArcticCrafts, on Facebook and Etsy as ArcticCrafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as ArcticCrafts65. And there I automatically did my spiel from my podcast.
It works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
I'm waiting for the pop-up beside your head.
Yeah.
And you also have a shop?
Yeah, I have an Etsy shop.
Yes,
under the
amazing
name of
dyer behind ArcticCrafts by Bente.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's the truth. Also, I wanted to mention that I think we both have a Ko-Fi page.
Yeah.
How do you say that? Ko-Fi or coffee?
I say Ko-Fi.
So do I. Okay. So we each have one, and I will link that down in the show notes. So I have yours. I'll just grab it and put it underneath in the show notes. And we are doing a giveaway at the end of this podcast. So just to celebrate being back podcasting and giving back. So we have today finished objects. We have whips. We have knit-alongs. There's odds and ends, which is usually I put in podcasters that I've listened to. We have the giveaway, and any shops that will be mentioned will be in the show notes below. So do you want to start us off with what's jumped off your needles, finished objects?
Because I haven't been on this podcast before, I decided to show
all the FOs.
Yeah, no, just the 4 latest sweaters of my needles, but none of them are really old.
No.
I've finished all 4 of them during the last 2 months, I think.
Mm-hmm. And one in the last 5 days.
Yeah.
Today.
If I'm going to stand in for Liz.
You have to.
Yeah, I just have to sneeze out sweaters like she did. This is a bit damp because I finished it this morning.
Beautiful.
It's a So Faded, and it's a copy of another So Faded sweater I knit, but different colors. I counted the rows because I wanted the exact same sweater, but in different colors.
Well, if you find something that fits, right, you want it. It's like when you go shopping, you find a top you like. I buy it in 4 or 5 colors. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. And I love the way the So Faded fits. So I wanted another one. And the yarns I've used in this one is from Australia. I bought it from the yarn store where Belinda works. Our friend Belinda in Australia, the yarn ball.
Yep.
And it's Fiber Lily. And I think the colorway was Sherbet. Nice. And the second color is, it's hand dyed in Turkey for a big company called Hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It's HOBBYY. Sorry, II.
Aye, Captain.
And the colorway name is number 2. So it's not that exciting. So this is number 2. I think I sent you one in greens. I bought at the same time.
Yep.
And at the bottom we have...
That's what we do.
This is the counter charm. It's the main skein from a sock set I bought from Hannah of Corner Craft.
Yeah.
And her yarn store is called Chromatic Yarns.
Yeah, she has some beautiful stuff. They fade in so beautifully.
Yeah, because I realized I had the same colors. This golden yellow is in all 3.
Yeah. And you've got the same kind of speckling and
And you have this hot pink. It's also in all three.
Yeah.
So
So you didn't use 3 full skeins, right?
No.
No.
I think the color I have most left is the one on top.
Yeah.
Naturally, because you use. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to knit some socks in this, with the heels, toes, and cuffs in this.
That'll be nice.
Because I want to. And should I just continue with the rest of the sweaters?
Sure. Who's the pattern by?
So Faded by Andrea Mowry. I just assume that everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And here's another sweater that everybody and their grandma has knitted.
Yes.
It's
many of them.
Except
for me, because I can't get past the short rows.
This is my fourth ranunculus.
Your fourth, yeah.
Yeah. And you only need 2 skeins, and it knits up in. I think I knit one of these in a couple of days. But that if it's a weekend and I don't have a lot of other stuff to do, I knit this in 2 days.
Yeah, it's like size 6 millimeter, US 10.
6 millimeters, and it's one size, so you just knit. This is fingering weight. It's from my shop. It's a base I no longer stock. It's a superwash fine merino, and the colorway is Tidal wave.
Very representative.
So this is the oldest of these sweaters, and it's a no frills. And this time I've knit that before too, but this time I knit it like Petite Knit wanted it to be knit.
Oh, Petite Knit, yeah, okay. I was like, who's that by?
Petite Knit, and it's fingering weight. Sorry, the Ranunculus is by Midori Hirose. Yeah, and this time you sent me these 4 skeins of Sugar Rush mohair from Comfy Cozy Knits.
They were calling your name. What is a girl to do?
Yeah,
spoil her as much as she spoils me. So,
but I never bought mohair because I think mohair is scratchy, but I have never tried holding it double with fingering weight before. So that's what I did here, and I think I can wear this next to skin because it
mutes the other color, but it doesn't.
And it's a bit softer than just mohair. Yeah. Because I think mohair is scratchy. But if you can't tell what the other color looks like. But this is held together with my Merino bamboo blend in the colorway Møysalen. That's a light gray with speckles. You can see the speckles. Yeah.
It's subtle, but it's nice.
So I think this is going to be outerwear in the fall. If I'm going to go a quick trip to the supermarket or something, I'll just throw this on. Yeah. And then we have the sort of Tale of Woe. My Maema cardigan. And this is by Pip and Pin, Megan Nodecker.
You say Tale of Woe, but I'm not the only person who says it looks intentional.
Yeah, but when I pictured this jacket with this yarn, and I wanted it so bad, and I was so disappointed. So if I hadn't pictured this as a perfect cardigan, this might work. But I was so disappointed because the button band and the ribbing and the sleeves are lighter than the rest. Yeah. It's easier to tell things like this when you cake the yarn. So I noticed that. If I had caked up all 4 skeins before I started, you would have known. I would have known that 2 of the skeins were lighter than the others. Then I would just have alternated one of each all throughout. The cardigan would be more uneven in color, but at least it would all look the same. But I contacted Hedgehog mostly because if this happened to one of my customers, I would like them to tell me so I could fix it. Rather, somebody contacts me and say, look what happened, and then I can fix it, instead of them bad mouthing me to other people. Don't buy yarn with her because she.
Well, no, you need to let them know. Like it's just it's courteous.
But I just I don't have a lot of storage space, so I always dye up sweater quantities as custom order. So there's only one dye lot anyway. But I contacted them to let them know that they had a rogue, so to speak, batch of Heron lying about, and they told me that that's really a big difference. And normally they do returns for stuff like that, but seeing as my cardigan was finished, it was a bit too late for that. So they offered me either a 20% refund on that, or a 20% discount on my next order. So
how hard was that?
What's a girl to do? Because
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. So I knew I was going to buy yarn from them, and I had the perfect excuse when I got that discount, because I wanted to buy their Tweedy DK for ages.
Yeah.
And now I figured I couldn't not buy it because I had the discount.
Exactly.
So I actually bought a sweater quantity of Hedgehog Fibers DK, 6 skeins. And it was not cheap even with the 20% discount. So it's my birthday present. My birthday is in the end of September.
It's your almost birthday, right?
It's almost my birthday month, at least.
Yeah.
Because it's August. So I know what to knit with it as well. I haven't bought the pattern yet, because knowing me, I might change my mind.
No.
But I really want that sweater. It's really beautiful.
I know I bought yarn in the past with, I know I'm going to make this 3 months later. It's like, I've changed my mind 5 times.
I think I need to see the yarn first.
Yeah.
And it's the one I'm picked out now. I know I want to knit a sweater with color work, because the Tweedy is, they make it with the recycled yarn ends. They use their own yarn ends, and they spin that. So the tweed is actually leftover.
That's a good way to use it.
Yep. So you can actually get gift cards or discounts with them by sending them your yarn ends. If you send, you get by the kilos, I think. If you send them leftover scrap yarn, it doesn't have to be just the yarn ends. It could be scrap yarn. And you send it to them so they can use it in their tweed yarn. You get a discount.
That's interesting.
You go with a scissor.
Here it goes.
Cuts up everything. But so because and depending on what batch you get, it varies how much bright colors there are, how much muted colors there are.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm getting one with lots of neons, because I want to use a bright color for the pattern. Because I think a yarn like that, it cries out for something to make it pop. So I need to have a color with it. So I'm going to do a sweater with a yoke, patterned yoke. So I'll just see when I get the yarn.
Cool. So I have some FOs. I have a no faded, so faded as well. This is what mine looks like.
And you have opted for the 5-color version.
I had bought it for the cardigan version, but then I ended up using the bright green in my comfy cozy sweater from Twin Stitches Designs, and so I had some left. So this is Gingersnapthat. It's in her Lux DK. I did short sleeves, and I didn't do the garter. Yeah, I didn't like that, so I didn't do that, but I think it turned out quite well. It's all speckled, so it's got that yellow thing like yours does too.
Yeah,
all of them.
It's it's the same. Same speckles.
Yeah, the bind off of the neck, I'm not really happy with the back. It keeps rolling. Mind you, I haven't blocked it because no.
I think that happens to all my sweaters, but just when you block it, just make sure it lies flat.
Yeah, and it fits perfectly, so I don't want to stretch, I don't want to do anything to it. So, but I mean,
that's what I do mostly with my sweaters. I rarely ever block sweaters. So I just soak them and then I dry them flat.
Yeah. I remember
And I put
someone telling me, you love green and you don't have anything in green. I think this is the 5th sweater since 2020 that I have green in. So can't say that anymore, but this is my favorite part right here.
yeah.
Yellow. So yeah, I'm happy with that, but I haven't worn any of my hand knits. I'm working at home. So I'm hoping that I get something. I'll wear something soon, but it's just like the fall's coming. Maybe then I'll wear them. I'm hoping, but who knows, right?
Seeing as I'm in the menopause, I'm not sure I'm ever going to wear hand knits ever again.
Well, it gets pretty cold here, but I'd rather layer than.
Because then you can take some
Exactly.
layers off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my Maema cardigan, I've actually worn that because it's perfect now because it's 3/4 sleeves.
Yeah.
Just below the elbow, and it's lightweight. So
yeah.
And it's meant to be open, so I don't shut it. So it because it's gray, it works with everything.
It's just meant to like just cover you to if you get a chill kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have 2 other FOs, but I don't actually have them with me, but I can show a picture. So I made an this is the second toy, but I made an elephant.
Oh, that's so cute.
For my daughter's boyfriend's little girl, Prim. So she asked for an elephant. She got an elephant. It's just how it is. And actually, no, I think I've made 3 toys. Yeah. And the other one is a giraffe. Let's see if I can find the picture in my pictures. Yeah, there it is. Oh, you're not seeing the whole thing because I don't feel like searching through my phone, but that's basically the head.
If that's the head, is the neck going to be really, really long?
No, it wasn't. The pattern, let me just see if I can find it, because when you don't have the
because that head looked big. So I was picturing if you're going to make a giraffe with a really long
it's not
neck.
that kind of, like it doesn't have a long neck. Okay,
then it's not a giraffe.
It's called a giraffe. Gotta be so picky. Like, oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. So
yeah, it looks like a giraffe that had an accident.
He just doesn't have a long neck.
Yeah. Oh, it was really cute.
Yeah, so when I made her the giraffe, she says to my daughter, "Can your mom make anything? I'd like an elephant." I was like, okay. And then this one I didn't put in the show notes, but I made her this as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, crocheting toys, fast, so fast. It's just zoom.
I don't like. I've tried the what's it called, amigurumi, with the tiny stuff.
No,
I don't have the patience for that.
Well, the giraffe was supposed to be smaller, but I was like, no, that's just too tiny. I want like a toy. You want a stuffy. So
but the thing is, it's easy making them bigger because you just use a bigger hook and thicker yarn, and suddenly you have a big toy instead
exactly. Exactly. The other thing I wanted to show is my cranked socks. So recognize this?
Yep.
Yeah. So she sent me that. And this is made, like, I'll probably be able to get 2 pairs out of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cranked that on the machine. And then I have some here that I think you sent me as well, but I kind of.
Yeah, that's the one, that's Nicole C. Mendes, I think.
Yeah, so I just cranked it in a continuous tube with the waste yarn.
Yeah, and that's also something I sent you.
Yeah, so
I actually knit myself a pair of socks with that, and that's what.
And this is not going to be shorties either.
No,
like because if I fold it in half,
yeah,
it's still quite long. So these are both going to be Christmas presents for my daughter, which she doesn't know about. I made my husband I cranked a pair of socks for him for Christmas. And so he likes just below the calf. because he has big calves, so he doesn't like socks any longer than that. So I had this. This is what was left, and I cranked it up. So I can get a pair of shorties out of that easily.
Same with my husband. He doesn't want, I would call them shorties, but he wants that much.
Well, Sean's is about
over the heel.
at about 4 to 5 inches. It's not too long, but this was the Christmas Vacation colorway. And I probably told you this before, but he is obsessed with that movie, and we watch it every year on Christmas Eve. It's a tradition. And the one year that I didn't watch it, well, guess what? I'm still hearing about it.
Yeah.
And then I have this one that I cranked this one a long time ago. This is by Candy Coated Yarns, and it's called Shipwreck. I had to have that.
I love that color.
Mm-hmm. It's like the teals and the browns. And the last one I cranked was a dyer that's no longer dyeing. And I used to see her at Rhinebeck, and she was called Bittersweet Woolery. I've knit socks out of her yarn.
Those colors are very you. Green and fall colors.
I also have like a green that I knit and like an orangey copper from her. But this was my last skein. So yeah, those are my cranked socks. I sent a cranked pair of tube to Selma, and apparently she said it fits quite nice. And it was from one of the yarns you got me a long time ago, Socky Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those. So those are my FOs. So we can move on to whips. Whips from needle to needle. You have 3? Yeah.
No, I had 3, but the sew faded.
I left it on there. I forgot. I copied it. I didn't cut it out of the show notes. Well, do you want to see my Maema?
Yeah.
That's not it. Yeah, that's it. So this is the Maema by Megan Nodecker. And I'm knitting it out of Sweet Skein of Mine in the barn board colorway.
Is that the tweed yarn?
No, it's speckled. Here's the cake.
Yeah, it's just the speckles.
Yeah. So I'm not very far along, but hey, I'm getting there. I can't knit a sweater in 5 days like some people I know. Get it there. So this is what, seriously, this is what mine looks like. I think there's a few spots where I've made a mistake in the pattern, and I don't care.
I struggled because I had some I had places where it looked like I had done a mistake, because this brioche, it's very unforgiving when it comes to gauge. If your gauge is a tiny bit looser, a couple of stitches, it looks like you did a mistake. But as soon as I blocked it, it looked perfect. Yeah,
see, if I look at this part, the front, it looks nice and even. But when I look at this,
yeah, exactly.
But I don't care. And I have this cute little progress keeper from somebody I know.
Yeah.
I think I've forgotten how to podcast. But yeah. It's coming along, and something else has taken my attention. So I'll show you that in a second, but you can do one of yours if you'd like.
So I only have the 2, and this neat little basket I got from you. Mm-hmm. It's Stephanie Cole Creations.
Yep.
That made this, because I discovered that this was perfect for 2 at a time socks.
That's what's in mine.
Because I have one ball in each, and I have the socks
in the middle.
And this is the second time, because I used to knit socks magic loop and 2 at a time cuff down. And then I started knitting them on DPNs or 9-inch circulars. Mm-hmm. And maybe I should try, because I've knit socks toe up, I've knit socks magic loop, but I've never tried to combine the 2. And toe up works
Yeah.
for 2 at a time, because you don't have to do all the fiddly bits at the beginning, because
No.
if you start puff down and 2 at a time, you have to cast on two different needles.
Exactly. With that, I just cast on one needle and I'm done.
Cast on and then just move on and cast on the next, and
Yeah.
so it's much easier. I use Judith's magic cast on this, and the yarn is a gift from you.
Will you knit?
Will you knit?
Yeah, which is from Yarn Indulgences.
Yeah.
And what I like about putting it in a basket is when you turn to go the other way, you turn the basket.
Like this. Or just twist the basket, and you don't have to tangle the yarn.
I'm working on a larger version of that basket right now. I think for me, it might be too big, but you said you liked the size.
Yeah.
So.
And if I knit a sweater and I want to alternate skeins, because the compartments in this one are actually not big enough for an entire cake.
No.
It works wonders for 250 grams. But if you have a complete 100-gram ball in one of those compartments, you can't put anything in the middle.
Yeah, I think Stephanie uses hers like as a notions kind of beside the couch thing. I mean, there's many ways. And what I did with mine, I can't get it. It's way over there. I took the handles out because I can sew. So I took the handles out and I put them on the side.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, it's more practical to carry.
Yeah, it's easier to pick up, especially when you have a little project in it. So yeah, Stephanie's baskets are cute. Okay, so I have, where is it? Oh yeah. So I cast on, well, no, I didn't cast on. Wait a minute, getting ahead of myself. I'm swatching, and I think Bente almost called me crazy pants when I showed her this sweater. Almost. Colorwork and I, we're okay. Charts and I, you can ask Liz, and if you've watched us before, you know that we're not.
I looked at you as if you were crazy pants when you showed me that sweater.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just like, I've been swooning over this sweater. It's called, let me get it right, Peperomia by Wool and Pine, for months. And finally my brain went, you have that brown from Polka Dot Creek. And then I had chosen, actually I have it here. I had chosen this Prosper yarn that I got from the Yarn Bowl in Australia, but Bente suggested just a cream because of the browns in it. So when I show you the brown, she said I might lose the pattern.
Because it's a really intricate pattern and there's only one.
Yeah. And I mean, some of them use a faded yarn that works better.
Yeah.
But
if you have a semi-solid.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not a semi-solid by any means. So let me just get the pattern out here so you can see it. Okay, why is it doing that? There we go. I didn't print it. Oh, it's hard to see, isn't it? Hang on. If I blow it up, you'll see it better. Because, you know, I'm a professional.
But it's really beautiful.
I'll insert a picture here.
Yeah.
So you suggest that I use a cream, which I did. So I just had some cream in my undyed. It's kind of a cream. And I'm swatching in the round in Colorwork. And I'm addicted. Like literally addicted. So this is the first part.
It really works with the undyed. You can see the pattern properly.
Yeah, you can really, really see it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do, I don't know how many rows. I'm on row 17. I'm going to do a bit more because I want to swatch it. I mean, I am swatching it. I want to block it. And look how beautiful this is.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself.
I'm so impressed of making that big swatch. If I'm doing a swatch in the round, I only do maybe 30 or 40 stitches.
Well, I didn't want to do the cheater method.
pull the yarn on the back and then I start knitting again.
I didn't want to do that. I've done it in the past and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this.
Can you use the swatch for a hat at least?
It'll probably stretch afterwards.
Because I know some people do that if they want to swatch color work. It
probably would fit as a hat because I'm stretching the
so you
bottom.
can use the swatch for something.
Yeah.
But knowing me, I would have just enough yarn for the sweater, so I would have to frog it afterwards to use the yarn.
I have 1,800 yards. My size calls for almost 1,600.
You should be okay. You could may end up with frogging the swatch at the end.
Yeah, I might. And then I had done a section because I don't know, I miscounted. So I could have done a whole nother repeat here, but I was like, I don't know what I did. I got my little stitch markers from Inga. Oh, I love them. They're so cute. And this one, my progress keeper. Did you give me that?
If it's twisted, yeah, that's from me.
So it's not focused.
Because that's twisted silver wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's from me.
Yeah. I was like, oh. Anyway, I'm loving this. Really, really. I'm so glad I took your advice. And there's no mistakes. Look at that.
How many of those are you having to knit for the entire sweater?
How many what?
Repeats?
Oh, the first chart is 100 rows.
Yeah, and you're going to do that how many times? It's just so it's not one repeat. What you're doing there is not one repeat that you stack on top of each other.
Let me just check here. No, I think really there's like I don't know. You'd have to look at the chart. But I don't, yeah, I think that's just one repeat. Wait,
okay.
That's a flower. Oh no, there's two. So there's two of those flowers in the one chart.
Okay.
I think. Or three. I'm just following.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me. Even Liz, she's like, you're doing that? Yeah. Well, I'm going to gift you the pattern. I was like, okay. So that's my other whip. And you?
I'm doing, I had you sent me the same, this is also Comfy Cozy Knit and Sugar Rush, but this is the alpaca, Suri Silk.
Yep.
And this is what made me order my own Suri Silk.
Was that the first skein I sent you?
I'm not sure, but I had the failed skein of Spectacular. This is my Spectacular on Merino nylon, and I had one skein with lots of breaks in it, so it has lots of knots in it. So I decided to use it myself because I don't want to sell it.
First world problems.
I'm doing a very pink cowl.
That's so you.
I'm not sure this. I think this is too pink even for me.
Really?
But it's really soft.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. The pattern is the Owl Cowl. It's by Kay Johns of the Bakery Bears, and the reason why it's called the Owl Cowl is because she thought that this pattern looked like owl's face.
It does.
So she decided to call it the Owl Cowl, and this is a free pattern. Because
and you have an owl on there too, because I think you like owls.
Yeah. Yes, that's why I have the owl on it, because it's the Owl Cowl, and this is a pink owl, and I got it from you. And if I can have one of your progress keepers or things. And this is one you made.
Yes.
It says OMG, and it had to say OMG because of the very pink.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not too fond of knitting with just
that. Okay. Is it sticky or like what's the?
Yeah, that's just it. It sort of sticks to
even
itself.
On metal needles.
Yeah, the yarn sticks to itself. So when I hold it double with different yarn, not a problem. But when I'm knitting only with the Suri silk, but because Suri silk is, I decided to start. I ordered a few, I think a couple of kilos of Suri silk just to try out for my shop. And that was so soft, so I figured if not anybody wants it, I can always knit myself sweaters.
Yeah. So I wanted to show some new bags that I've made. And yes, I'll be making you one, you know. So looks like a basket.
Yep.
But
I love those.
So I saw this on Needles at the Ready. And
Yep.
I went to the shop that they linked, and $65 US. And I was just like, I can make it. So I asked the person who owns the shop if she got the pattern from somewhere. You know, most people would tell me, yeah, I got it here, go get it. But she didn't tell me, which is, I'm fine with that. So I did a search on Google and I found the pattern. So I will link it below. So this was my first attempt. It's kind of a little, this part is too soft. Like it doesn't really want to. So, you know me, had to do it again. And then I made the handles wider and I put the matching.
Yeah.
And this one slides down really easily.
Yeah.
And also the first one, I was off by the measurements a bit. So maybe that's why it didn't work. But I didn't like the tiny handles on this one.
No.
So, and I mean, that there's still a little bit of tweaking to do, but I like it.
That's just perfect for a project you want to, if you want to take it with you, you just pull it up and you have it in.
Yeah, and it has a snap. So it's snaps.
When we can go to knit nights again, that would be so perfect.
Oh yeah, so
yeah,
I actually love it. I'm going to be making one for, I offered to make one for Nina. You're going to get one, obviously, because that's just what I do. When she says, I love blah, 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 it usually goes on the list of in my phone of for Bente. And then these are the other ones that I've been making, my little sock bags.
Yeah, I love those snap bags.
Yeah, and so they snap open, and then
those actually work. Those actually work as when I'm alternating skeins. You can put one skein in.
And because it's like a harder, not a hard, but it's a stiffer interfacing, it just sits.
Yeah.
And what I have in here is the tube that I cranked my husband. This is called White Walker. It's from Gingersnapthat because of Game of Thrones. And so I've already put in the cuffs and the toes. I just have to do the cutting. And, you know, we are summer, so he doesn't really need socks right now.
My hubby has, he wears wool socks all year. And I can't, so I'm really, really thrilled that you're sending me some sock snakes because.
Well, you sent me the yarn, so.
But yeah, you want to do it for me because hubby, I have tiny feet, so knitting a pair of socks for myself, but knitting a pair of socks. Okay, so he doesn't want them longer than this.
Doesn't matter. It's still, I'm lucky that, well, Sean has size men's 8. I have women's 8. Not that much difference. His are just wider. He's got wide and flat feet. But I wanted to show you something else. So I sent a couple of these bags to Inga of Knitting Traditions. And she told me what she did was she crossed, I think she's shown it. She's crossed snapped them. Because she literally didn't want anything to come out. And I thought that was kind of cute. Like it's kind of crossed.
Looks sort of like a bento bag.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think of doing that. So, but I had to have this one because I just, So,
just because.
And on that note, I have sold a few bags through Instagram, but I've come to the realization that I think I need to open my Etsy shop again.
Yeah.
A couple people have asked, and so I'm going to be putting some of these in the next week. I'm on vacation, so that helps. And I might put some of these baskets in, but I've got to work out the the cost because I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
So, and that is it for whips. Now we have knit-alongs. What make-along do you have going on over there?
I have the Arctic Summer of Socks.
Mhm.
It started June 1st and it's running until August 31st.
Yep.
And I have already drawn the 2 first prizes, but or actually 4 because I have 2 each time. And at the end of August, I'm drawing for 3 prizes, and I've saved the best to last.
Of course you
Because,
did.
yeah. So I'm calling it my grand prize drawing because we have a bag from the Tangled Stitch.
Me? No.
Tangled Stitch.
So Kelly.
Tangled Skein, yeah.
Kelly
of
Tangled Stitch. Yeah, it's hard because I'm the Tangled Skein.
Yeah, and I have a dip and mix set with 10 gram minis from Kate Celine.
Yeah.
And I have yarn from Comfy Cozy Knits.
Yeah.
And those are the prices for the last drawing in August.
Nice.
But this knit-along, this Arctic Summer of Socks knit-along has really taken off. And Inga from Knitting Traditions, she donated 2 patterns, 1 pattern for June and 1 for July. And Instagram, there's not a lot of posts on Instagram, so I was thinking about donating a skein of your choice from my shop, and I think I'm going to put that as a 4th prize for August because there's a lot of socks in that thread, so it's taking off a bit.
Yeah.
So either I'm picking out the skein,
well, and it's one thread, so you can win any time, right? Yeah.
That's just it. You could the 3rd pair of socks that was put in on the 1st of June can win in August because
I think some people who posted in yours also posted in my stash down.
Yeah, because the double dipping is of course, and I tell people, remember, if you knit socks with my yarn, you also double dip in the ArcticCrafts year-long make-along because that's stuff made with my yarn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's what I have going, and I'm going to start a spooky mal September 1st.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to get some prices together for that as well. So, and as soon as that stops, I'm going to start. I'm thinking about calling it the Grinch mal because there's a lot of Christmassy, and I'm doing an advent calendar. But I was thinking, why not? I think
it's fitting because people want to knit for people, but they get Grinchy about it because they have to knit all this stuff for other people. They put it upon themselves.
Instead of calling it Giftmas or Gift mal, I'm calling it the Grinch mal.
Yeah, it's original. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, but I'm going to do it because it's not always what you want to do.
Exactly.
To knit presents for stuff,
and because I'm not the only one. Everybody leaves it to the last minute.
I was also considering calling it the Grinch mal, and people are only allowed to enter stuff for themselves. You're not allowed to put in gift. If you knit something for yourself in December, you can enter it in the Grinch mal.
I like that.
Starting 1st of November and until 31st of December. I think I'm going to go with that and call it the Grinch mal.
Yeah.
And it has to be for yourself.
It's like a treat yourself Christmas version.
If you're being selfish and knitting for yourself.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
People might call you a Grinch.
And the only exception from the rule is if it's green, like the Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has to be green or it has to be. So if you knit a pair of Grinch green socks for someone for Christmas, okay, you can enter that because it's
let
green.
That slide.
Yeah. Because it's green.
Cool.
Speaking of green.
I wonder who that's for.
Yeah, you can tell what it says here.
Sea spray for Sue.
Yeah, because this isn't sea spray. This is a greener edition of sea spray. You have some sea spray there. Yeah. So you want it, and this is what sea spray looks like on Surrey silk.
Yeah.
This is what it's supposed to look like. but you wanted a more green sea spray without any blue. So this is sea spray for Sue.
Well,
So
the reason I wanted the green, and you can blame Leanne and Yarn Indulgences, because Yarn Indulgences did a bright green for Leanne. And Leanne and I love our bright green. So I was like, well, I do kind of know a dyer who might do that for me.
Kind of.
Yeah. So we have two knit-alongs in our group. We have Face Your Fear, the sweater edition, which Liz started in January. # Don't Fear the Sweater. And we've had quite a few entries, and we have one person, and I always call out Tammy, yes, you, the knitting beekeeper from down east. She had never knit a sweater before, and I think she's up to her 4th. And I'm not just talking regular. She took a flax and put cables down the sleeves for her first sweater.
Yeah.
So amazing. And it's just one of those, you don't think you can do it. And then once you do it, it's like, oh, not that hard. So that is running all year long. And we also have the Stash Down, which is the Yarn Purge Edition 2021. And it's Yarn Purge 2021 is the #. And I have a sponsor. I wonder who that is.
Could it be me?
And yes, you wonder, Yarn Purge, why do you have a sponsor? I figured, why not? If you're purging all the yarn, why not have a sponsor? And there's a coupon code because. So if you use Distant Stash 10, you get 10% off your order till the end of the year. Yep. Because who else am I going to support? Come on. What else do we have here? I'm not showing any stash. Or were you? Did you want to show your yarn right now?
I wanted to show my 2 new bases.
Yeah, do that now. That's perfect. Because it's stash, right?
It's stash. It's not my stash. It's hopefully somebody else's stash one day.
Yeah.
Because I loved the zebra sock so much. So I decided to test it myself. So I got some undyed. And these are just colorways that I have in my shop on other bases.
Which is cool because you already know the process of doing it.
Yeah, and it looks totally different. This is.
I love your new labels, by the way.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being a typographer and graphic designer, because when I want to make new stuff, I can do it myself for free.
Or you make logos for your friend's podcast.
This is Let Me Fly.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm not a blue person, but that's gorgeous.
I told the story of why it's called Let Me Fly on my podcast. But it's me and hubby were really into Eurovision. And the last month leading up to Eurovision, we have a tendency of watching old Eurovision shows.
Get you in the mood.
Yeah. And one, I think it was in the 90s sometime. There was this lady wearing a dress. And I was kind of thinking, those 2 colors, they don't go together. Maybe they go together, because it was turquoise and purple in the same dress. And I just had to test it on yarn. And because the song she was singing was called Let Me Fly. She was from Malta, by the way. So this colorway is called Let Me Fly.
That's nice.
And I have Glam Rock.
I just find the zebra yarn just makes it pop.
Yeah.
Works
really well with variegated.
Yeah.
Speckles, I'm not going to even attempt speckle.
Well, no, because of the zebra.
Yeah.
Right.
It won't. And I, of course, also had to do some suri silk. I'm depending on how well this sells. This might be a limited run. I'm not sure. If it sells, I'll keep doing it.
Fall is coming, so that's when you'll probably see.
So this is Skrik, and that's hubby's. He named this one because I really love the colors of this, but I didn't. What am I going to call this? I held it up to him, and he said, "Reminds me of the sky in the picture." Scream. You call it the scream in English. It reminded me of the sky in that picture. So skrik in Norwegian, or the scream in English. And this is a colorway that was named in a competition.
Oh, yes, the strawberry one.
It's Stracciatella
Mhm.
in Italian, because I did a competition on Instagram. Name this colorway.
Mhm.
And the name I went with, she was going to win a skein of yarn. And one of my Spanish Instagram followers, she's Spanish and the name is Italian. And the reason is she sent me a picture of a lily called Stracciatella.
Mhm.
And it looked exactly like my colorway. It was
Yeah.
the same color, it even had the speckles.
Yeah.
But speckles look like this on Suri silk.
Yeah.
So, and this is the original sea spray. When it's not for Sue, and it's just sea spray, but not sea spray for Sue, it looks like this. On Suri silk, that is. It doesn't look like this. That's the thing with Suri silk, and that it's a bit scary, but it also is a bit fun because you never know what you're gonna get. Use the same.
Every base takes the dye differently, right?
Because I use the same recipe for all the bases. But one thing I discovered when I was doing sea spray on Suri silk, I had to because I normally I just tiny bit of blue in this. I needed more blue when I dyed it on Suri silk because the blue disappeared.
Oh,
completely.
so it takes more in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was you would have loved it the way it looked, but because sea spray is supposed to have a bluish tint,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Yeah. It's called sea spray.
Yeah. Let's see. So, I wanted to mention a few podcasts, because I watch them while I work. I used to do that in the office too. So why stop now? So I have a couple new ones. Alex, who is My Yarny Corner on YouTube and Ravelry. She's in the UK. I discovered her, I think she has 6 or 7 episodes. And she's the one who designed that little bear with the purple hat and the giraffe. That's where I got those patterns. So from her, she's a very good crocheter and she's learning to knit, and she knit her first sweater. So she's really cute. I love her. That's the wrong page. And I also found the Knitting Pickle, who is Laura, and she goes by Penrose Knits. She's in the UK as well. And I just love her. Like her attitude. She's a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, but she's just the Knitting Pickle. Like who would name their podcast that? And she explains why. Like, what's your pickle this week? Like, what's fancying your pickle this week? I've never heard that before. So I thought that was good. Cozy Moth Knits is not new, but I love her, so I thought I would mention her again. And Summer Knits is brand new. She has 4, 5 episodes. She's in Oklahoma. And then we have Knitting Traditions, Inga. I love her. And also Hawthorne Cottage Crafts. She hasn't posted in a bit, but my friend Kate, I really love her. She's in Ireland and I watch her anytime an episode comes out. So those are some podcasts that I've been watching. Do you have any suggestions?
I have a suggestion, a yarn dyer that I've always enjoyed. She makes lovely yarn and she has started a podcast. I think she's into episode 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And she's based in Dundee, Scotland.
Oh, cool.
And she's called the Rusty Ferret.
The Rusty Ferret. I think I've heard you talk about that. I need to watch that.
Yeah. So because she is,
Did you not?
I laugh a lot when I watch her because she doesn't take herself seriously at all.
That's awesome.
So she kind of makes faces and talks about, sorry, can you hear me now? Leaning into the microphone. And so she doesn't take herself seriously or really. And she's very open about the fact that she has mental health issues. She has a collection. I'm not sure, I can't remember what the collection is called, but one of the beautiful colors of that collection is called Comparison is a Killer. And I thought to myself, I need to knit a sweater in that yarn just because it's called Comparison is a Killer.
Yeah.
Because as a yarn dyer and not a lot of confidence and imposter syndrome and everything, Comparison is a killer.
It is.
But that's so perfect.
Yeah.
So I really love her. So I'll get you a link for her. Or you can find her. You just
I'll find her. Yeah.
Search for Rusty Ferret.
I've got to edit a podcast. I don't know if I'd still know how to do that. Okay, so do you have any other things you want to do before I show the giveaway?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay, so I wanted to do a little giveaway because we've been away for a while. And I decided to use the bag that Kate from Hawthorne Cottage Crafts sent as a gift. You won't get my hair. Bright pink inside.
Yeah.
I got that. There was also, this one is from her. And Liz took the one that said maker on it.
The one I'm sending out as a prize now is from Kate, and it's the maker fabric.
I wanted to add a Canadian flair. So these are this is one of Stephanie's handmade cards. That's fabric that she's sewn on the card. This is yarn. I'm sorry for the crinkly. It's ginger snap. I don't know if you can see the sparkles.
I can see the sparkles.
Yeah. And this is called Fiber Friends Super Sparkle Fingering 70 superwash merino, 20 nylon, and 5 lurex is the sparkle part.
Yeah, it's a silver thread that runs through the yarn.
Oh, that's why you can see it.
It's really, really sparkly.
It's not like the other stuff they use.
It's not like Stellina. It's not like Stellina. That's a silver thread, and it doesn't because Stellina, you can lose the sparkle if you use too much acid, too much vinegar. Lurex doesn't do that, so it keeps.
Oh, Shella dyed some yarn, and she lost the sparkle. Yeah. So I wanted to show this card. This is, let's see if it can focus. Where's my camera? I don't know if there we go. So that's Stephanie Cole. And you can probably see the address better here. Stephanie Cole Creations. So that's who made the card. And I'm also throwing in one of her acrylic pins that she designed. Yeah. She designed a fox before.
I have a couple of key rings you sent me from her.
Yeah. So I thought I would throw that in. Huh?
You have the key rings you sent me. That's a bit colorful.
Oh, the key rings. Yes, I have one of them in the giveaway pile. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, that's not from her though.
Is it? It's not?
Nope.
No. Okay.
She's a Canadian maker, but it's not from her. Fresh out of FUCKS. Thought it was very fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got 2 bags of tea because my friend sends me some tea. So I grabbed 2 bags, and Nearly Nirvana and New House Blend from Bird and Blend. So that's the prize that you could win. And what I would like you to do, sorry for the crinkling, in the comments below on YouTube, so it's only on YouTube, please tell us how you're feeling. I can't talk. How am I feeling? Please tell us how you're finding time to relax and unwind this summer, even with everything that's going on in the world. And the next time I podcast, I will pull a winner.
Yep.
So that's it. That it for you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have anything to add. It's your podcast.
I've got a tornado around the room.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to need about half an hour just to get rid of all the stuff.
Yeah, the podcast aftermath usually gets put aside for about a couple hours, and then when I'm done editing, I pick it up because I can't work I can't work in my craft, well, because I work in my craft room, but I can't work if there's a mess behind me.
I work where we have about 80 square meters, So my workroom is our living room / kitchen.
Yeah.
So but hubby is away. He went away today and is coming back Friday afternoon. So I have the entire place to myself.
So you can make all the mess you want.
I'm going to dye the advents. 2 colors a day, tomorrow and Thursday. Because I can put up drying racks all over the place.
Then it'll be done. You'll just have the main skein.
Yeah, so I'll do that next week. Because the main skein, I know exactly how I'm going to dye that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the advents, I'm not that sure, but I'm starting tomorrow anyway.
You have the first color in mind?
Yeah, I have the first color.
You'll go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's what I'm doing while I'm away. While I'm away. Well, husband's away. I hate it when he leaves. I hate to be home alone. So I figured if I have a lot of work to do, I'll be too tired in the evenings to actually care.
But getting this advent skeins done will be amazing because, you know, first week of August, those are done.
Because one of the advent calendars are going to Australia and I'm doing 4 times the Sundays of advent. So the first skein you're supposed to open November 28th.
Yeah.
Because that's the first Sunday of advent. So, and it's going to Australia. And I've had mixed experiences by sending mail to Australia. So if I'm going to be about 99% sure that it's there by the end of November, I want to send it out in August.
Yep.
Because that's just how it is. And then everybody else will get theirs really early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I sent something to Alex in the UK and it took 2 months. And she said on average, things take 3 months to get to her.
My big problem is that I have customers, as I said, I sent actually today I sent an order to a lady living in the next town over. But I've also sent stuff to Malaysia and New Zealand and Australia. And the US and Canada, mainly 90% of my orders go to US and Canada. And to the US, it can take as little as 2 weeks. From Canada, double.
It's
double
gotten
that.
here in 3 weeks pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Then there are the ones that got lost and it was like 8 weeks and all of a sudden it shows up.
For example,
the last package I got from you took 3.5 weeks. So that's the nice, you know. So.
But when people are supposed to have stuff for a certain date.
Yeah. It's very difficult. It's beyond your control.
Yeah, it's beyond my control, but I want to play it safe. So I'm thinking 10 weeks.
Yeah.
10 weeks should do it.
10 weeks should be good.
Yeah. So I have to wait. That's just, I have the yarn finished and I'm going to wrap everything because that also takes a lot of time because I'm going to gift wrap everything. But I haven't got the bags yet because I've ordered the bags from Michelle at Giberu Sous. She has custom made bags for me for the Christmas Eve cast on.
Yeah.
I have one left in the shop, by the way. Christmas Eve cast on. I have one left.
Oh, well, somebody needs to go buy that. Oops, sorry, I just moved the camera.
So she has, the bags are on their way to me now. And from the UK, it can take anything from 2 to 4 weeks. So crossing our fingers for 2 weeks this time.
Yeah.
So I want to have everything ready. So the only thing I need to do when the bags arrive are to wrap up the bags with the main skein, put them in the boxes and get them out the door. And I've only sold 15 because I'm a small batch dyer. I don't have a
15
lot of
is pretty good.
Yeah, I realized when I started. Okay, that's 4 pants, and I do 2 at a time. So okay. At first I thought, okay, 1 color a day, but then I figured, I have the house to myself, so I do 1 color in the morning, I have a dinner break, and then I do 1.
By the time you sit down on the couch in the evening, who knows if you'll have the energy to knit?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I knit when I'm dyeing because you always have downtime.
You have to wait.
You have to wait for the water to heat up. You have to wait for the color to what do you call it? Exhaust.
Yep.
Yeah. So and you have to wait for it to cool down so you can rinse it.
Yeah.
So
there's always time to knit.
Yeah, and the owl cowl is perfect for dyeing knitting because it's just round and round. I have to pay a bit of attention because I have to count the rows. So when I saw all the stripes, but that's one thing I actually was kind of I'm not sure if this has happened to you or you can explain this to me. But even I discovered this rather quickly. So even though there are 12 rows of the alpaca and 13 of the merino, the alpaca stripes are wider.
I think it's probably the stretch factor, maybe, or is it
So
the fluff?
The alpaca.
The alpaca blooms,
as
right?
stretchy as the merino. So maybe it's that because there's maybe I should have gone down a needle space for the alpaca. Who cares? Because all the alpaca stripes will be the same width, and all the merino stripes will be the same width.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just the difference between the alpaca and the fingering.
Because I realized what's going on here, because I thought I was counting, and yeah, it's right. But it's for me, and it's very, very pink. So maybe I'm
the fluff factor probably makes the stitches a little bigger.
Yeah, the row gauge.
Yeah,
of course, the row gauge. Because you got the point. That's exactly.
I've never really knit with it, but that's the only thing I could come up with. So that brings us to the end. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Please subscribe, like, come back next time. And hopefully I'll be recording in 2 weeks. I have another culprit that I want to bring on. So I'm not going to announce it now because who knows what happens, right? You plan something, and this one almost didn't happen today because of my health issues, which let's hope they can be regulated very soon. So hopefully. So like I said, happy crafting, all the crafts, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
And the stop button, because I can never remember.
Yeah, it told me that this was being recorded. So
it's never done that with Liz.
I could either tell it I wanted to leave, or I could just say, okay.
See ya.
But I like that I'm getting told that this is being recorded.
I don't know if it does that for Liz. I've never heard it.
I never heard it before either, but I just reinstalled Zoom, so maybe
it could be an update or something. Yeah. So, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hello.
Should I say hello?
You should say hello, because this is how Liz and I start. So
I'm not a guest this time. I'm supposed to be more active. So okay. We'll just take it from the top.
So we can start again, and that can be an outtake at the end.
Yeah.
So, okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.